What is going on, everybody? Before we begin this week's episode of From My Experience podcast, we have an announcement to make, and actually I'm going to let the co-host with the most, who is always vibrating higher, Miss Jessica Fountain, make that announcement right now.
Hello from my experience podcast family. I am coming on to let you guys know that I am transitioning. I will no longer be hosting with From My Experience podcast. However, I will always be a part of the From My Experience podcast family. This opportunity has been absolutely amazing. Rob, I thank you for your um, partnership in just as a host, behind the scenes, on the scenes. You have been phenomenal. Um, Thank you for giving me this opportunity to express my voice on air and be able to use my voice in a different way. But the time has come for me to transition, and you know, it is bittersweet. But I know that this podcast will do many great things, and I am so happy and proud to be a part of it. Thank you guys for welcoming me with open arms. And till next time, because I have a feeling I'll be somewhere lurking in the background, singing in the background. So, till next time, love you all. Thank you. It was an incredible opportunity. Peace.
No peace. I must say that you did a fantastic job. You taught me a lot of things about podcasting, about myself, about working with others, about organization, and just looking at things through a different lens. And I definitely appreciate that. The podcast has definitely been positively impacted by your presence and your words and your thoughts and your creativity. And we are greatly appreciative of that. And I just want to thank you. And I cannot wait to see what you do next. All of her information will still be in the description, so make sure you go follow Jessica on Instagram and see what she's up to. She has some great stuff coming. And I can't tell y'all all that, but she got some stuff coming. So just make sure you keep up with her and you follow along with her. And just thank you again for all that you've done.
Thank you, Rob. Peace. Much love, FME.
All right, y'all. Time for the show. Yeah, what is going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. I am your host, Rob. I'm feeling refreshed and re-energized, and I'm excited because we're going to have a great interview today. And some gems will definitely be dropped. Y'all already know how we do over here promoting positivity. And you already know the other thing we like to do is to thank you. Yes, you, our listeners, those of you who are liking, sharing, subscribing, talking about the podcast, messaging us, giving us feedback. We love it. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you. Thank you for the love and support. And speaking of support, you can support us by shopping with our affiliates. There is a Linktree link in the description where you can shop with Gardener's Garden, who sells organic products like skincare and hair care products. Jot Forms. We have Acre Gold. We have Retro Mimi still. And we have Black Water. So make sure you check out our affiliates. Shopping with them gives us a little bit of a kickback. It helps us take care of some of those expenses. And that shows us a lot of love. We definitely appreciate it. Now, y'all know, I am not alone today. I have the co-host with the most, who is always vibrating higher, Miss Jessica Fountain. How are you, Jessica?
I am well. Hello, world. As always, it's great to be here. I always love this seat and being your co-host. So it's all good.
I like that necklace, yo. Is that like an Egyptian inspired, like?
No, it is. I don't know if it's Egyptian inspired, but I did wear it on a photo shoot with my family that was rooted. It was a country and culture shoot. So I really like it too. Golds, that's my thing. Bronze, coppers. So
Okay.
thank you. I wish I could see it. Maybe
They'll be able to see it in the future.
in the future, more video.
Yeah,
So
it's coming. It's coming. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest today. It's a little extra special. This brother is a graduate of South Carolina State University, our neighbors next door down in Orangeburg, South Carolina, an HBCU grad. We love our fellow HBCU graduates. There's nothing like it. Nothing
Nothing.
like it.
Oh, sorry.
He, he is also the founder and CEO of the Tuck Project LLC, which we're going to get into today, and I'm going to let him get into that. But ladies and gentlemen, today we have with us Mr. Terrance Tucker. Woo!
What's happening? What's happening?
Man,
Welcome.
How y'all doing today? God is good. God is kind. How y'all doing?
Yes, he
He's
is.
all mine.
I like that.
Come on.
You gotta add that to the repertoire.
You know what I mean?
Well. How are you?
I am blessed, man. Highly favored. You know, it's raining outside. It's cold, man. Something is wrong with this bipolar weather.
listen.
Yes, it's called climate change, and I think we should pay a lot more attention to it. So, with you bringing it to the forefront, it is the real thing.
You know, I'm still, listen, man, we still trying to spend that doggone COVID money. So I needed to kind of hurry up and speed up so I can get back to travel. So I can get back to traveling.
Not the PP.
Yeah, so I can spend my COVID money.
Yes. The weather is definitely crazy.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's cold here too.
But I'm listen, man, but I'm thankful, man. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today, man, you know, because I really love what you're doing, man. So let's get it popping. Let's go. Let's rock.
Well, let's start right at the top. The Tuck Project. Tell everyone what that is.
So the Tuck Project, man, that's a male mentoring nonprofit that I started back in 2017, where we actually mentor young men from 9 through 19 years of age.
Wow.
And and we actually go into the schools, man. We work with them. We also do one-on-one mentoring as well. You know, we try to, let's say, we try to promote male achievement, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we try to expose these gentlemen to more than, you know, let's say we were exposed to.
Yeah.
Right. And this program was started just by the initiative of me wanting to, let's say, give back to my community. Right. So I started with just 5 young men, man, back in 2017, man. 5 young men from my neighborhood. Then it's grown to 276 young men.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Yes, you deserve that.
All get on my nerves. They all get on my nerves. like, you know, I can't stand none of them jokers, right? But I love them to death. You know, I mean, I'm extremely proud of them, and we got a lot more work to do. And, you know, we just beginning. You know, God has been good, God has been kind, and God is all mine. So we're trying to make sure that, you know, we expose these gentlemen to their greatness, you know, and, you know, make sure that they see what, we have not seen yet, basically. Yeah.
So
You go ahead.
Go ahead, Jessica.
Well, exposure,
Mm-hmm.
i.e., I think I saw a hashtag on one of your posts, and it was like exposure is the key, and it's also my the title of my blog. But I also believe very much in that when you show people alternative way of living, often you don't have to really like convince them. Sometimes representation matters, and so I think that you do a lot of that in your work. What lit a fire in you to want to do that, to create that? Was it the exposure that you got? Because there's several different talking points. I mean, when it came to researching, I feel like for you, there was just so many different aspects of positivity that you vibrated. And so what would be the reason why you got into mentorship beyond, like, what was like the the fire lit?
That's a great question. Listen, my upbringing, my dad didn't go to college, my mom didn't go to college, my grandparents didn't go to college, and their grandparents didn't go to college, my sister didn't go to college, nobody in my neighborhood went to college.
Wow.
And my whole when I was a junior in high school, that whole senior class didn't go to college. Nobody went to college.
What?
Wow.
Wait, where are you from?
C.A. Johnson, man. C.A. Johnson High School, okay, that's located by Benedict College, right in the heart of Columbia, South Carolina, downtown Columbia, South Carolina. It's in the heart of the hood, it's in the heart of the ghetto. And we were not told about college like that. Like for years, the only college that I knew was Benedict. I mean, we would drive past USC, but we like, yo, there's no way nobody's going to USC.
That's sad that we laughing at.
Right. Y'all both laughing like,
yo, we are not.
Look expensive. Yeah.
We were like, yo, those must be corporate buildings or something. We ain't going to USC, okay? But so we were told, man, when I was in high school, we were told to, man, get a trade or go into the military or maybe, work for the city or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But nobody encouraged us to go to college. And we had so many young men and women who had, who had ability, you know what I mean? Who had the intangibles, to go to college, but they were not motivated to go to college. So they made a lot of mistakes, a ton of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It was just, what we like to call wasted talent, right? Mm-hmm. And so I prided myself, man, when I finally got back into college and when I finished college, I prided myself and I asked God, like, man, you get me back south, man, you get me back home and you allow me to, use my gift as far as mentoring, I'm gonna try to expose a ton of young men, to because, man, listen, man, going to college was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what made you go to South Carolina State?
Well, I was a janitor for like 3 years, right? When I finished high school, I had a bunch of football scholarships, a bunch of basketball scholarships, but nobody told me that I needed, that a 1.4 GPA was not gonna get me to college, right? So I had a ton of schools to just never call me again, never bother me again. But I was cool with it because, nobody around me was going to college. Right. So I became a janitor, like 19-year-old janitor working for Dutch Fork High School, man. And I worked there for like 3 years, man, cleaning toilets, man, mopping floors, man, stripping, waxing floors. You know what I'm saying? Doing it all, brother. Yeah. Right. But I was cool with it. Like, yo, but they was paying me $9 an hour, And back then, you got maybe a little rich right now. I don't know. But you have a little money in your pocket. I don't know, But back then, brother, you making $9 an hour. I mean, you 19 years old. You kind of cool, right? Mm-hmm. But I had a principal to come to me one day, man, Dr. Witt. He came to me. He asked me a question, man. He said, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh shit, what I didn't did now? Like, do he smell the weed on me? Like, yep." So, and they didn't call us, man. They didn't call us. So he said, "No, son. Like, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "What is my shift?" So I'm trying not to get smart with the cat because he is technically my boss. Yeah. Right. So he said, "No, son. You're 19 years old. Why are you my lead janitor?" And I was like, my 10th grade year, my guidance counselor told me and my mom that I was not college material. So, I'm cool with, where I'm at. So he challenged me. He said, "Son, here's why you're college material because you always come to work and you always, you never leave without finishing your job. These teachers love you around here. Your character is great. You always saying yes sir, no sir. I mean yes ma'am, no ma'am. You know what I'm saying? That makes you college material. Now, I had never, that was the first time that a black man told me that I was college material.
Wow. And so you
After
matriculated
high
all
school.
through school. After high school was the first time.
High school. That was the first time.
Wow.
Like I say, my family are not college type people. You see them there?
Yeah.
They are blue collar workers. You feel what I'm saying? So it was cool with me just working. Like you get that high school diploma, yo, we straight, right?
Right.
So this man challenged me, beyond, beyond my comfort level. And he called a lady that he had no idea was my aunt, right? So during the time, my aunt was the, technical, dean of students for South Carolina State University. My mom's sister.
Okay.
But I had no idea. Listen, we had no idea what she did for work because she never talked about her. She never talked about her job. Never talked about her job. We knew she lived in a nice house, and we knew she had a nice car, but I just never knew what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And he called her. He said, "Yo, let me call my classmate." I'm like, "All right, cool, call her. What's up?" And she answered the phone, and he told her my name,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Does the guy have a big head and big eyes?" and he was like, "Yeah." So I'm looking like, wait a minute.
Who is this?
Yeah. So he's like, that's my nephew. He was like, whoa, like, yeah, well, you know what I mean? So, to kind of fast forward it, you never know who's watching you, right?
Yeah.
You never know who's watching you. And he helped me, he connected with her. Now, this is the thing. Don't ask me how they got me in South Carolina State because it might be illegal.
It was gone.
Okay?
It was gone.
People snitching nowadays, man. They might have you on CNN.
It was the Lord, man.
Yeah, it was all God.
Thank you.
My God. Jesus. That's what it was. It was Jesus and God. Like, they kind of tag team. So, but they got me in school with a 1.4 GPA. So my prayer was that if he gets me in school, man, I'm gonna change my life.
Mm-hmm.
I promised that I was gonna change my life. Now I knew I had some issues because I never did work in high school. I never did work because I was a jock. And I was a good ball player.
Mm-hmm.
So no teachers made me do any work. Like my whole day, really consists of going to class, going to sleep, waking up, and going to the next class, right? So I just, failed myself going through high school. So I really didn't know how to read like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't, I really struggled with, math and writing, right? So when I got to school, I really had to, I met a girl named Crystal Jones, man, and she tutored me Monday through Friday, like for free.
Wow.
I mean, every day of the week, man, Monday through Friday for free. Now, South Carolina State they did not want me there now. So they said that you had to work for the cafeteria for free for a whole year, right? So I worked in the caf for free for a whole year. I couldn't stay on campus, right? So I had to stay with my doggone grandmother that lived in Bamberg, South Carolina.
Oh, man, you had a hike.
Thank you. And you had to be in the house by 8 o'clock.
What?
Because grandma ain't playing that.
Grandma said you had to be.
Grandma is like, you going to school if you want to, but you better be back here.
You better be in the house by 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
Like, she locking the doors at 8 o'clock. Bruh, you should see me hiking down that job like, oh, Lord, you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, no campus life, no nothing. But that was all God, though. Because, listen, man, God will sit you down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can realize where you at, right? And so God set me down, man, and that kind of made me read because my grandma had no cable, like no long distance phone calls or nothing.
So you can't even talk to your classmates that's from
you couldn't talk to nobody.
With cell phones from different.
Listen, you ain't heard nothing but doggone cows and chickens
And
that's all you heard outside.
Hey, you wide awake because it's only 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Right.
You
You know what I
up.
started doing? You know, I started reading my books.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Studying, reading my books. So when I got to class, man, I just started realizing, hey, I kind of know the answer. Oh Lord, like what the hell? Like I know this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really know the answer. Like, yo, I'm raising my hand here. Yo, call me. Call me. Okay? So then I started realizing, yo, this college thing might, it just might be for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the best thing I did was change my environment. Right?
Yeah.
So I stopped hanging around guys I was hanging around, back at home, and I started hanging around guys who actually really, like who actually really like, guys that actually really enjoyed going to college, man. Guys that had character about themselves.
Yep.
And that kind of rolled off on me because they held me accountable for my actions. Mm-hmm. And I messed around. I graduated, man, with a 3.5 GPA, man.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And I got my master's for
I want to clap again. For real, like I never knew this story about you, and this is like amazing. Like
a master's for free, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full scholarship, man. South Carolina State, man, gave me Scholar of the Year in 2007.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm telling you, man. But that came from somebody investing.
Yeah.
Right. Investing in you
and something in me that I didn't even see.
Right.
So that's why the Tuck Project. That's why we're here. So we can young men that's being told the exact same thing that I was told.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You just you let me. First of all, that's very powerful, man. So that principal, was that a black man?
Yes, sir. Dr. Witt. Yes, sir.
So that was the only, I guess, male influence in that type of environment to really kind of try to. I mean, y'all still keep in touch?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
I mailed him my whole diploma.
Oh wow, man.
Up to him. He wound up sending it back.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, listen, like without this, you know what I'm saying? Without you pulling me in that office, without motivating me, without you seeing something within me that I had no idea was even there, I'd probably still be cleaning gyms.
But I think it's important to note that sometimes our situation, who we are, like he saw something within you, but to still show up in any environment, to still show up despite what we think that it needs to be, because I too have been blessed in situations where your character, your integrity, how you make other people feel, though, like you said, the intangible characteristics of who you are, they will open doors for you way beyond what we have, like just the check, because checklist, you can get that from any place, anywhere, but it takes a special combination of our personality and who we really are to, I think people love that and need that and value that in a whole nother way. Then often we see it for ourselves because it's you. Like you can't see you like other people see you. I can't see me like other people see me. And I think it's really important for people to not really stay so solely consumed about where you are in life, but more your investment in that space, like being the best version of yourself in any space, because you will be seen.
Let me tell you, like you hit the nail straight on the head, man. Because let me tell you, my first job was in Washington D.C. When I left grad school. Mm-hmm. That was a job that I didn't even apply for.
Wow.
Because my professor, man, Dr. David Statton, called somebody who he was friends with that lived in Washington D.C. and said, "Hey, Mikey, listen, man, my because I was always going to his office, man, messing with him." Joking with him and stuff like that. And then one day when I went to his office, man, he said, "You found a job yet?" And I'm like, "Man, no, I ain't got no job." Yeah, doctor. I got a master's degree and I can't find a job. Right? So he said, "Listen, man, call this number right here." I called the guy. The guy said, "Hey, we got a job for you in Washington D.C., man, working for the listen, man, working for the federal government, man. You want it or not?" And I'm like, "What? What?"
That's where I'm at now, so I know what that meant.
Bro, I was like, bro, I never been past Virginia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
that more exposure.
You telling this little country boy that you want me to come to Washington D.C. to make more money than my mom and dad combined? And I ain't even apply for the job.
Wow.
I mean, I ain't even interview for the job. That was solely on how somebody felt about me.
Powerful.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I tell my listen. That's why I tell my young men, listen, man, your character matters, man.
Yes.
How people about you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why your references matter, man. Matter because, listen, they can get you indoors that money can't get you in.
Right.
I promise. So, yeah, man. I mean, that, you know, and that's why I credit, man, South Carolina State University so much, because they gave me a chance when almost nobody, like, nobody want to give your boy a chance, right?
I'm glad that you were given the opportunity. I want to pause there. So, with your mentorship program and your experience, talk to us about some of the experiences that you had going to South Carolina State University, that being an HBCU. What were some of those HBCU experiences that you had that kind of helped you with getting that mentoring program off the ground? What are some more of the things that you saw and did? Like, so you had the strict curfew, you had to work hard, you had relationships with your professors.
1 year. I was just 1 year. I was just 1 year, right? So when cause like, listen,
hold up, that laugh lets me know it's about.
You gonna love this. Now listen, don't reshare this or tell anybody. I'm telling you, man. CNN,
this is on the podcast. People are gonna hear it.
Yeah. Well, guess what, man? CNN, they lying. Listen. So, listen.
Don't incriminate yourself now.
It's about to be in a book anyway. I mean, it's about to be.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, South Carolina State, man, like I say, my first semester, they told my aunt, because, like I say, they did not want me there. So, they only let me in because of how they felt about my aunt. Because my aunt was there for like 25 years. So, they told her that if he don't get a 2.5 his first semester here, then we're going to take $10,000 from your salary.
Excuse me?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's on my mother's grave, dog. They told my
Excuse
aunt
me?
that he don't get a 2.5. The brother gone for one, and we're going to take $10,000 from your salary.
Come through, Auntie, for still pushing.
Now, here's the crazy part. She didn't even tell me, because she didn't want to scare me.
Right.
Amen.
My mom, when I came and jacked me up, boy, if you mess my sister money up, boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, it's me and you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's a lot of pressure. You know?
Pressure.
That's why I had to get it together. Like, that's why the first thing I did was when I got a tutor. You know, because listen, man, reading, you know, I promise you that I didn't read nothing from 9th grade to doggone 12th grade, bro.
Whew.
You see what I'm saying? So I was way behind on reading. Yeah. Way behind, bro. Don't ask me how I graduated. But I met with that young lady every single day. Yeah, man. So I met with her like man, Monday through Sunday sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And she was hard on me, bro. Like, she was extremely hard on me. And there were times where we would kind of get into it because I just wasn't used to, you know what I mean, somebody bring that out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that takes a lot of vulnerability.
A lot.
You're showing your weaknesses to someone when you're so used to being strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
right.
And I overcame all that, man. I started passing these classes, and things started working out. I wound up getting a 2.7.
Nice.
My doggone man, first semester there, and from that they was like, okay, all right. So then I went and got me a real job, and I was like, grandmama, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone, baby. So I moved in with my homeboy. I'm out of here, deuces. I 8
That
o'clock.
was the best sleep you was getting in your life. Why you with a
And
nice
good
curfew?
meals.
Hey, come
And
on.
you gave her meals. I know you gave her meals.
Oh, yo, I was yo. She has so many plates inside her refrigerator, man, from the cow. She was loving it.
Oh,
She
you
was
was giving her meals.
Y'all was giving her meals from the cow. She never
I
went home.
forgot. You worked at the counter.
Not
Yo,
Sure.
she had like 30 plates. She had like 30 plates in the refrigerator. I was always bringing her food. Like, bam, I was bringing her all kind of food. Like, I mean, no, whatever you want, you can have it, baby. You know what I'm saying? You my baby, right? But yeah, man. But I moved out. So I think, man, once I really start having that real campus life, you know, meeting people and going to basketball games, probably the most depressing thing that I went through while I was there was going to football games, knowing that I could have been out there, right? Because I was, shoot, man, being recruited by South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida.
Yeah.
When I was in high school. So going to football games were kind of hard for me. Like that first 2 years, it was kind of difficult.
Yeah.
But I overcame that. I kind of worked through that mentally, and I just started hanging around some, good people, man. I really started getting close to my advisors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Asking questions.
Yes.
Right. And
I
really,
noticed in one of your posts, you lost one of your mentors, Mr. Myers.
Mr. Myers, yeah.
And I read the post, and it was just, he told you can share it since you know the story better than I do.
My first year, my first semester at South Carolina State, I probably came in with the hoodest mentality of ever. Like, just gold teeth, sagging pants, hat backwards, like, just ready for war, right? I'm not used to this.
At school, ready for war. A lot of people came to school like that.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what's up? Who won it?
I was looking for the card catalog, sir.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you trying to fit in, and that guy was the first male man that I kind of really, connected with, because he told me, listen, that hat backward stuff, that saggy pants and gold teeth, stop that. You want to come to my class, and you better come to my class, and you better be on time, and you better show up, every single day. And he knew my aunt real well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Dad, I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I'm a little prison on the low, right? But I kept going to his class, and it was tough love, right? It was tough love, but I started learning like the whole math, and I was like, yo, I really know this stuff. This is crazy to me, And I wound up, I mean, he kind of low key hated on me because he gave me a B on the low, right? I was like, listen, man, I could have got an A. He said, yeah, but you got a B. I was like, all right, cool, because that might have been my first B in math ever, right? Wow. So I felt really, really good. But that guy changed my life, man. He invested in me as well, and he told me, he's the one that taught me, that I was enough, but I just was not doing enough.
Ooh.
God, dog. That was a word.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You see what I'm saying?
That's real talk.
I was like this. So that's why I started going to him for, more tutoring and stuff like that. And just meeting him at the class, and that's not. And then my grades just started going up. That's just going up, right? But that right there, he gave me the courage. Not only that, he also gave me the doggone confidence that I can be a college student. And that I needed to kind of change my character and not try to be this doggone thug that I thought I was, right? So, listen, man, rest in peace to him. It's my guy. I love him to death, and I credit him for, man, so much.
So changing, and yes, rest in peace to him. Changing the narrative, what you just said. What is your, what have you found through the Tuck Project, through your own life experiences of people changing your narrative? What would you say is your method now? What is your, I know every person, every young man that you encounter, that probably looks differently, but what do you find like to be the necessity to help change the narrative, like with most people or with your mentees?
Yeah. That's a great question. So it's two things for me. It's consistency is one. Consistency is one because most of my young men, I'll probably say about 60% of them, maybe 70% of them don't have dads. So they've already been let down by one guy.
Right.
Got it.
Right. So I want to be, I don't want to be the actual next guy to actually let them down. Right.
Got it.
So I try to be present, right? I try to be available, I try to follow up. I try to be a man of my word with them.
Yes.
And that has created this culture that now they believe what I say to them.
Yes.
So when I say something, it's gold.
Yes, that's so
right?
important.
Yeah. And not only that, but I show up for the little things, like a soccer game, baseball game, track meet. I maybe 10, 15 minutes that I'm there, but you see me.
Yeah.
That right there is gonna help 5 years from now.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So when I tell them, listen, you did your fastball. Oh, my bad, Mr. Tucker. You might jump on it right now. Boom. Because that I don't like repeating myself. You see what I'm saying? But I've got to the point to where I can give them tough love now because they know where the love coming from.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But I think, consistency is key. And number two is we're gonna go back to that word, man. It's about exposure.
Yeah.
It's about listen. We took guys to last year, man. Last year pre-COVID, we took maybe 10 guys to Clemson University, right? My homeboy, works down there, right? It was nothing, right? So we took about 10 guys down there. There were 5 guys, that didn't know Clemson was in South Carolina.
I believe it. Yeah.
They had no idea. It was like, dang, we still in South Carolina? I was like, yeah. Where you thought Clemson was? Clemson, Kentucky? Like, what's going on? Man, we can joke like that, though. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, but in the back of my mind, I'm feeling good though.
Right.
Because, now you're exposing
that totally opens up, takes off the blinkers. We talked about this in the episode, but sometimes you can be so closed-minded that it's to your detriment because you haven't seen anything, you haven't been anywhere outside of that hub of your community.
Exactly.
I know I'm an hour and a half. My hometown is an hour and a half from Myrtle Beach, but I know people that have never been to the beach, never been outside of South Carolina, period. So
that's crazy.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy for me to even think about, and it's not a judgment, but it's just when I think about how expansive what the things that I've just seen, not what I know,
right.
because wise man knows you know nothing at all, but what you've seen is that just expands so much. Simply going outside of your hub. It can't look just like you all the time. So
it can't.
Yeah.
Man. Exposing these guys to different things, and so which not only, man, which not only, it may broaden their horizon, but it expands their conversation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of cats' conversation be limited when they haven't really experienced nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's limited intention, I think, on purpose, not out of, I will say less in order to not shame myself, to stay in the box. It's not even, and it stunts your personality. It stunts so many things about who you are. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you most people don't want to say, I probably would just sit back out of the conversation in order to engage and not know when you don't know so much and you recognize, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I never heard of that. Where is that? And after a while, you just like, well, yeah, I'm not going to say anything.
Listen, that's crazy that you said it, because listen, my first time working around white people was when I worked in DC.
Mm-hmm.
My first time.
And this is after college.
After college.
Because you went from a predominantly black community, high school, college, right?
Middle school, it was all black, right? My high school was doggone super all black, okay?
Not super all black.
Ultra black.
My HBCU.
Black all
2.0. Right? So when I went to DC, now, here's the crazy part, right? And here's why I tell my guys, man, it does not matter where you come from. I promise you, it doesn't matter where you come from. My next door, my next door guy, man, who so my office was like right here, and the guy next to me was like literally right next door, right? White guy, and he had an office right next door to me. And this guy graduated. Now we had the exact same job. Same job, same pay. That guy graduated from Stanford.
Wow.
Now here I am from little old South Carolina State, right? That's why I tell people, it does not matter where you come from. You can go wherever you want to go, man. It's all about, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to you, the individual. You know what I'm saying? And man, that guy's still close.
Nice.
I mean, but it's like, my professor put me in that position.
Yeah.
Solely on how he felt about me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So here I am working in Washington, D.C., a little old ghetto boy from doggone, Columbia, South Carolina. Working in Washington, D.C., working two business next to the doggone Capitol. And now I'm working next to this guy that went to Stanford. And my guidance counselor told me in the 10th grade, right, that I was not college material. You can't tell me God ain't good.
Yeah.
Man.
You feel me?
Yeah, that.
You can't tell me that.
You're right, man. And I want to add a little something to what we were saying a second ago about just the exposure, looking at the experience that you have and what we've gone through. I want to challenge all of the other mentors that are out there and all of the parents out there. When it comes to giving these kids experiences, even if you don't look at them as experiences, because I know when I was growing up, I would get sent to different relatives during the summer. And I was made to feel like, Mom, you tired of me? So you just, so you need to be gone for 2 months. Have the conversation with them and say, hey, I'm sending you here. So one, you can get to know your family better. But two, this is a different environment for you. Challenge them. Hey, I want you to learn some new things. Because my family's from Charleston and Spartanburg. Yeah, so it's like, when I used to go to Charleston, I used to go to the park. I used to do all kinds of stuff. So when I came back to little old Spartanburg, South Carolina, I had a Charleston accent because I'd be down there for so long. I come back, what y'all boy doing? And they're like, Rob, why are you talking like that? I'm like, I gotta, I gotta switch back. But I think it's really good to add context to what you're doing. I experienced the same thing. I worked with kids in Charleston who had never been to the beach. We have several beaches in Charleston. I knew kids in Charleston that had never been to Somerville, which is like 15 minutes from Charleston. Yeah, and it was just like,
that's crazy.
So we got to do a better job, y'all, of exposing these. Don't just let them think that it's a fantasy on TV. It's like, let's get in the car and go.
Yeah.
So this is true.
Yeah. And expose them, man. Expose your kids, man. Get off. Listen, man, put those phones down I mean, and talk to your kids, man.
And it can be it would like to your point, you said 15 minutes, but it can be anywhere. Like I recently was able to take my nieces and nephew on a trail.
Yep.
And that's what I like to do here. Like my friends will go hiking or something, and there's a garden. I mean, they could literally walk to it from their house.
Wow.
But they had never been, like they had been to because it's like a historical site, but we had taken family pictures at the home that's on the property. But on that property are historic trails that go down into the woods, and there's like a lake and all of that. And they were like, oh my God, they were so excited. But just being in nature, something that was one free. And I think that that's a big thing. A lot of times we have to get unscared as adults, because I think that there's a fear of us feeling like we have to know it all.
Right.
To be able to expose, because going to your point, you're older in these certain parts of your storyline, yet you still are experiencing things. It's okay to experience things later than other people. Like, right. And I think a lot of times we don't want to, it's perpetuating the cycle of, well, I don't want to show you because I might be scared. Because there was a point in that hike where it said that the trail kind of changed. It went from an identified trail to now, even for me, I've done this before several different times, and I'm like, oh Lord, I'm getting a little scared. My niece, she was like, I think it's time to go back. I'm getting a little scared. And I realized in my head, I'm thinking this too, like it's getting a little creepy in this part. But it said, I said, well, when you get scared like this, and it is something that I do, I'm like, you got to stomp. You got to like walk real hard so that all the things in the woods know you coming, and then they go the opposite way. So it's like me, her, and my nephew, and we stomping through the woods. I'm sure my nephew probably wasn't as scared because he's pretty fearless, but me and her like both scared. But when we got on the other side, it was like, man, like I learned something about myself. That was the first time I was in a situation, I feel like, of, I don't know, but I was really transparent about that. And I think telling kids, I try that at least with my nieces and nephews, to be transparent, because kids know way more than you think they know. Yep. And they can feel discomfort. They can feel when we tense up, their sensors are more in tune with that. And so I think it's just really important to show them, and be scared doing it, do it anyway. Y'all figure it out together, come up with a method together, which creates intimacy and bonding. There's so many different layers that can be put on top of that. So it doesn't have to be far. It doesn't have to be going to Egypt. It can be going 15, 20 minutes away from your home, 10 minutes away from your home. So
now, speaking of home, I only got a couple more questions for you. Speaking of home, so you were in Washington D.C. Now, how did the Tuck project come about from that point?
So my brother died in 2009.
Dang, sorry to hear that, man.
That's life. And thank you though. Yeah. But so my mom called me and asked me to, move back south, because hey, you're my only boy now, and I need you close. I was like, I'm kind of liking this DC out here. Yeah. I'm kind of liking this. But you only get one mom. Yeah. And I was like, my baby called me to come home. So I moved to Charlotte. Remember? So I moved to Charlotte, man, for a couple years, and then I moved to San Diego for like 1 year. Mm-hmm. And I got my dad had caught prostate cancer, so I moved back south, and so I was like, man, while I'm home, man, I might as well just make myself useful. You know what I'm saying? So like when I moved home, man, there was a lot of teachers, that I was friends with, a lot of people that I grew up with who had became teachers, man, administrators, and they were like, listen, we know your story because we know you. So we need you to come talk to our kids. I'm like, me talk to your kids, bro? I don't know about that because I ain't used to talking to kids. You know what I'm saying? I ain't used to standing in front of nobody's classroom talking like, because to me when I was younger, like that was like super corny. Like, man, you old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, bro, like go, bye, die. So, so I was like, all right, cool. So I would go here, I would go here, I would go there, and then my actual high school called me. It was like, listen, man, you know, we got some kids that we need you, you know, to, you know, kind of talk to. And what was scary was they were being told the exact same thing that I was told. So I was like, you know, so I was laying in bed one day and I asked God, man, you know, shoot, man, you know what I'm saying, give me a vision or something. And he told me to, man, start my own mentoring nonprofit, man. So I did that. And it was like, you know, like I said, it was designed to, you know, to let's say solely help the guys that were within my little neighborhood. But it just, I mean, just, you know, and just grew like wildfire, bro. You know what I'm saying? And next thing I know, you know, man, you know, shoot, man, we're in 3 different states. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But that's all God, man. You know, and that's just me going back to when I was that kid, man, sitting right in front of my guidance counselor, right? You know, right next to my mom, being told that I'm not college material. And that's when the project started.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a question that it for the people out there that have, okay, so let me, moment of transparency.
Yeah.
I've always mentored, and more recently, so I've done Girl Scouts, I've done several different programs working with kids. And when I moved to Texas, I worked with the program for the after school lunch program at the library. And this was the first time that I had experienced these kids going to your point. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah.
Them kids taught me, it is a trauma actually, and it need to be in somebody's therapy session.
Yeah.
Because these kids, it is not for the faint at heart, and I'm not one to be faint at heart, but they found all the faint in my heart.
Yeah.
And they really tore me down. And I haven't worked with the kids since, except for my
Wait.
Hey, y'all left.
I wasn't expecting that.
Like that was totally not what I was about to expect.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it
Let
real.
me tell you.
I love, I mean, exposure. I'm all here for all of that.
Right.
But I realized, what happened is there has to be some kind of equally yoked matching.
Yeah.
Not necessarily there was something I think that there was something that was repelling the relationship, because I am from the country. I have a different experience than a city underexposed experience.
Right.
Although I feel like I was equipped to find a bridge or create that bridge, I found it difficult to connect because the kids just didn't want that. It was a barrier. And I know maybe it was just that set of kids, but it really damaged me in a way. And I love the kids. Like I really do. But I ain't worked with them since. So
that's like mentoring is not for you know, it's not for everybody.
No.
It's not for, and a lot of kids, they actually run into that where they'll meet people for like 2 weeks and they'll get like, you know, because you know how guys is, like they like, you know, these fake mentors love to doggone take pictures with the kids and post it on social media. Mm-hmm. I'm mentoring the kids, mentoring, right? And then the guy never hears from him again, right? Mm-hmm. But I knew it was for me when I knew that I'd do it for free. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I woke up thinking about it, that's when I knew it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because my dad was a lion, and his dad was even a bigger lion. So I feel like, we come from kings, so nothing scares me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that they know they don't scare me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
these kids scared me.
So when I run up on them,
don't run up on them now.
Terrance, it was
He said
hard.
when I run up on when I
run up on them, because sometimes you kind of got to get a little.
You do.
You know, you kind of got to get a little.
And I think they had more a little than I had, and they tried me. I was really invested. I wanted to see them kids. Yeah. Like, I really did.
Let me tell you. A moment of clarity, a moment of transparency, and it's a tip for all my, want to be future, mentors, whatever. Listen, since 2018, I probably lost about, let's see, me and Mike counted a couple weeks ago. I probably lost about 45 young men.
So it happened.
Due to their mother trying to make sexual, advances.
Oh.
Wow.
Because they be single mothers.
That took a turn.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
But what he's saying
I can see that.
That makes a lot of sense. You're showing, because the kid is different now. When you're around, they're seeing a side of their child that they have never seen before. And you're Superman now.
Right. So now they texting past 5 o'clock. They texting at 9. Hey, we cooking tonight. Wink, wink. If you wanna come through. I'm like, nah.
But
I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm good. So when you start to decline the offers, the kids start fading.
Which is mental health, people. Okay, so that's a level of mental health. I say everything is mental health because I kind of believe a lot of things are. Yeah. But when you don't put things in the right perspective, that's an imbalance in your mental acuity. Right. So seeing someone, to your point, Rob, of now Superman has come and rectified my family. You now think of Superman as mate instead of Superman as mentor, and that was the role that he was supposed to play in your life, which is a mental imbalance. And if we don't get together, like men and women, to really check ourselves and check our thinking, like, because it's skewed, and then we get mad. We don't really assess it from a clear level of thinking. So now you retract. Or you're embarrassed when, even if you do step over a line, you can still come back from that and, like, you know what, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have texted you so late, but still do what's best for your child. Instead, we retract, we get mad, we start turning it into a lot of different things because we're not thinking clearly about the situation.
Thanks. I'm telling you, I lost a ton of young men, and I would see them on the street sometimes, like, man, what's up? He said, man, Mom Dukes, man, I don't know what that was about, man. She ain't really even explained to me, man. She just told me not to reach out no more.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing that I did, because no mother can say, no mother, no teacher, no administrator, no guidance counselor can say that I slept with them. Not one.
That's important.
Mom and dad grave. You see what I'm saying? Because that's my integrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
You don't want to bring mess into nobody's school.
Yes.
Right.
You feel me? So I think that's how my program grew, by, coming to the school, man, being 100 with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And being silent about my work. But focusing on those young boys. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now when a teacher calls, or now when a principal calls, seeking, because they all cool with each other on the low.
Yeah.
Right. So they call and ask, like, hey, have you worked with the Tuck Project? Like, I'm saying, yeah, he is legit. He cool, because I didn't bring no mess into their school.
Mm-hmm. Right.
a lot of cats going in, man. They start sleeping with the doggone teachers and guys counts, and next thing you know, they out the door.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Integrity.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you brought that up, man. And you know, we laugh and joke, y'all, about a lot of things in life, but you know, when you know your purpose and you're operating in your purpose and you're doing something that impactful and that meaningful, you got to show restraint and self-control. And
Gotcha.
that was a very, you know, I commend you, because this is what a lot of people don't think about. They use the term school community for a reason. These
Right.
people do interact, they talk, they have Facebook groups, they live next to each other. If you do something,
Yeah.
it's gonna spread quick. You might get passed around like a hot potato between them.
Right.
Like I've heard some stuff, and this is not trying to talk down on anybody, but it'll have the opposite impact of what you came there for real. And now
Right.
this noble cause that you have is forever tarnished, because that is
Right.
going to follow you. Because it's like, okay, are you here for the young men, or are you here trying to have fun? Like, what are you really doing? That could have derailed everything you had going. And I know it must have been really hard to see those young men, you know, have to disconnect because of those type of situations. But I'm glad you held firm and you stuck to your purpose and you did the right thing.
Because I came from that. You know, my
Right.
mom had integrity, my dad had integrity. You know what I'm saying? And we were raised on that. You know what I'm saying? So I stood on that, man. You know, proudly. You know what I'm saying? But I never just wanted, you know what I'm saying, wanted to, like, think about it, man. You go in this young man's home who, you know, so who you trying to help? You know, you sleeping with his mom. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Don't even sound right.
that don't even sound right. You know what I'm saying? You know, but there's a lot of guys that actually do that, man. Coaches and all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my thing is, man, that's not how you last long. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And my goal is to be here years and years and years and years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And like, my uncle taught me something a long time ago. The number one thing that kill black men's careers is sex.
Mm.
That's the number one thing that kill our careers is sex. There's the scandals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So I did not want to be a victim of that. You see what I'm saying? I always want to look back, right? 5, 10, 20 years from now, and I want, like, the teachers, the principals to say that, man, he always kept it 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No scandals, no nothing with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one last question for you. We've been having a great time with you, man. I definitely appreciate you opening up the way that you have and being so transparent and sharing
Yes, sir.
some of those intimate details that people out there who may be coming behind you to do something similar, they needed to hear those things. But
Right.
one thing that I've noticed, man, you've been through a lot of what most people consider traumatic situations. You've dealt with a lot of loss, a lot of transitioning, a lot of moving around, and you're a black man in America, and we are under attack. So
Right.
one thing I want to ask you is, one, how are you feeling today? And two, where do you draw your strength? Like when you're home alone and you can finally sit down, relax, and settle, and you're thinking about those things that you went through, what are you doing to keep yourself strong mentally?
So, number one, man, you know, I pretty much, feeling good. Mother's Day was kind of hard for me on the low because my mom died last year.
Oh man.
Yeah, my mom died of COVID, and 2 days later, well, two weeks later, my dad died.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? And I found him dead, right? Like I walked in the house and I mean, right? So, it's been day to day.
Yep.
But I was raised by some super strong people, so I can handle a lot for some reason. Listen, man, don't even ask me how I can handle a lot, but I was just built for stuff like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but I also pray a lot, you know. And I think that, Mother's Day was, hard. But I had, man, just some phenomenal friends and family that's within my circle that I, that I love dearly, who just showed up for your boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I needed them. And I think that being around positive people like just like when you surround yourself with nothing but positivity, like that just can't help but help your mental psyche as well.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we all go through things like I might cry like once every 2 weeks or something like that. Right? Thinking about my mom and dad still.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I'm still processing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But I'm way better than I was. Right? So that to me is a positive thing. But I work out a lot as well. I run, I lift weights, man. I do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that helps me mentally.
Mm-hmm.
But not only mentally, but that helps me also. That also helps me, physically. Because listen, you can't be out here helping people, man. If you ain't got, listen, man. Your health is all you got. Your health
Yes.
is all you got, brother. So you can't be out here helping somebody else when your health sucks. What I mean, and life sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I make sure I take care of my body. You know what I mean? And I think that's been able, that's helped me, man, to have, the stamina, to kind of keep going. But I credit my God and my family and my close friends that I, who are my family, that kind of get me going, day to day. But I also credit my mentees, right? Because I might have got man, 15 texts on Mother's Day from my mentees that were like, "Hey, big OG, we we got you. You need anything, we got you. We ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. Mom ain't give us no allowance this week. You know what I'm saying? But if you need to talk to something like that, you know what I mean? But that right there within itself goes so far with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been, trained to be hard my whole life. Because my family come from nothing, from man, nothing but farmers. Like my grandparents were farmers, right? Their parents were nothing but farmers, and their parents were like nothing but farmers. So I come from just this doggone hardness, that I'm kind of learning to kind of let go a little bit. That I don't have to be hard all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So when you experience death, that kind of take you through some things, But I credit my family and friends that kind of help me to allow me to be weak at times.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? And, talking about stuff like that more often, man, you know what I'm saying? And, being more transparent, me talking to you guys, that's very therapeutic for me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Part of the reason why we do this, man.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So that's been helping, man. But just my family, my God, man, my friends, and just my health, that's been all I needed, man.
Wow, man, that was powerful, and thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you for sharing that. Black men that are out there listening, it's all right, man. We ain't gotta be these super hard dudes all the time. We feel too, like we go through stuff, we experience pain. But one of the things you said that sticks out to me that I always try to do is surround myself with positive people, man, who want the best for me, who can pour into me. So I'm definitely with you on that. I got no more questions for you, Jessica.
I have one question. I was going to ask you about your parents. What would you say has been the takeaway? Well, not the takeaway, because as parents, there's 1,000 things. But one thing I'm learning in my own life with my grandmother, who is 92, I'm savoring her in a way, because my presence, I realized that this is rare. It's rare to have a grandparent that's 92, and I don't want to take it for granted. So I ask her questions like I'm talking to y'all, and it's not a disrespectful, but I'm asking her things from a woman of 92 and me being a woman of 36. I want to really get the real. I don't want to get the sugar coated version. So, what are some things that you now, even on the other side of that, savored from your parents that you reflect on or bring you solace or bring you peace?
One was their commitment to each other.
Mm.
My parents were married for 60 years.
Woo.
Wow.
And that's why my dad died.
Right.
His
From
wife
broken
left.
heart.
My dad was like, yo, I'm out of here, yo. Like, yo,
Wow.
my wife gone? Yo, I'll holler at y'all boys, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So their love for each other, man, and their commitment to each other, and their love for God. My dad was a Baptist preacher, man, for 35 years.
Mm.
Wow. I'm a pre-K too.
Yeah.
PK. I'm not a pre-K. I'm PK.
I'm a PK.
This is so funny. That was not. This is gonna be in the bloopers somewhere. I'm a
pre-K out here in these streets. But now, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, just their hard work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they always trained us to never beg for nothing, man. Go out, you know, right? Like, man, if you want something, go out, man, and just work for it. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? Go out there and put your all into it. I mean, and God will help you out, you know, in whatever way. You know what I'm saying? But just, you know, them loving us and, you know, and just, you know, making sure that, you know, we treated people right. You know what I'm saying? And you know, my dad always said, man, never stab nobody in the back. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, be about your word. And that's how I've maintained so many of my friendships, right? Because I've always done good by my my friends and family, you know. So I think that just me learning that, you know, from them and seeing their loyalty to each other, you know what I mean? You know, and shoot, man, watching my dad, man, and he just like morning after morning after morning, you know, waking up, man, going to work. Like my dad never called out.
Ooh.
Like sick and all, he still want to work. And that's my mentality. You know, I never call out. Never call out. Like my boss be like literally, man, you know what I'm saying? Like saying, please take off. Like, like stop coming to work. Like you're not gonna take a week off or nothing. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because I like coming to work.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because I love my job. So, but that's what I got from them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So.
Well, thank you for sharing. That is it for me. I think that this was an awesome interview. Your story is so inspiring, and I'm glad that you took me up on the offer to come on the show. I'm really excited about that.
Boy, man, I'm humble. I mean, I'm honored. I mean, I thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank y'all.
Tell everyone how they can stay updated with all of the Tuck project, your project, because we didn't even get into it, but the SCSU Bulldog Report. Tell them how they can.
So I have 2 podcasts that I do, man. So I have a podcast called Community Vibes, where we highlight special people, much like you guys do, where, you know, we highlight people who are doing phenomenal things within their respective communities. And I have the Bulldog Report that highlights, you know, special alumni that went to South Carolina State University.
Awesome.
And that right there, but you can follow me on shoot, man, Facebook, man, Terrance Tucker, Tuck Tucker. You can follow me on the gram at Tuck Project, and then you can follow me on the gram at the Bulldog Report, and you can follow me on LinkedIn at Terrance Tucker.
Yes, sir. We'll have all of that in the description. thank you again for joining us, sir. I needed this laugh today.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So,
Ladies and
Good
gentlemen.
laughs, good energy, good inspiration.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all again for continuing to listen and support. We know you got some gems for this one. You're going to probably have to run this back. So make sure you go out there, you be inspired. And if you are a mentor, I want you to step it up tomorrow.
Don't be like me.
Y'all know where you can find us. Instagram, FME_podcast. On Facebook, From My Experience Podcast. You can follow me personally, complete spell with a K _vision. Jessica, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at exposure, and that's spelled EXPOZHER, expose her, as well as jessicarenee.com. So.
And your bread and butter?
And my bread and butter, you can find me at Lash and Soul, and that's LASHANDSOUL.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, financially,
and spiritually.
and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.